Yeah, so yesterday we were able to look at the ergonomics. And I said the reason why we are looking at all these concepts, the ergonomics, is because we want to know how best we can use our equipment, devices that sometimes we are given new devices to use. So how do you go about it so that you don't cause injury to part of your body, especially your neck or your waist or your backbone? So we understood the concept of ergonomic by actually knowing how best you can use devices and feel comfortable, make sure you have human interactive with the devices. And then we went through some of the practical, like how best we can customize our desktop, especially the background, changing the background, getting appropriate image or something that will be very, very attractive when you are using the desktop, especially when you have something that can affect your eyes, like the brightness of the desktop. So some background can actually make you uncomfortable. And we went through how best we can change some of the background, setting the background, or changing, setting the good theme that will help you to work with the system. And then also customizing icons for easy identification of your program. And you know, when your folders, your files are started on the desktop, it makes your, in other words, when you are searching for files, it's very difficult for you to get. So customizing your icons is very, very important. So you know that, okay, I have file for, let's say, all my customers' personal information. I have them in this folder. So you identify a particular icon that makes you easy to access that particular, or when you are finding the icon, you get it easy. And then also naming your directories help you to easily find or identify your folder. So for example, when you are searching for files, let me go through just a very few things here. Sometimes when you are looking for a file or a directory, you don't know where you have placed your directory. So let's say when you go to your local disk, so you look at this local disk, you open it, these are directories you have in your local disk C. So how do you identify your particular directory that you stored on your local disk? So naming your directory is very, very important. Sometimes you can name it and maybe you forget the name that's used. So how do you identify? You can identify all these by sometimes the icons used, and then also when you have certain names that can easily remember. Sometimes when you're like here, I can say that, oh, let me see, I remember I named a directory, let's say online. So I just put online here. You see, so it easily identify your directory like this one. I just remembered I've named a particular directory with online. So I'm able to get all names, all files and directories with online. So it's very, very important. So customizing your icons, naming your directories, there are precautions that we have to take into consideration. So yesterday we were able to look at doing all these things, creating shortcuts the importance of creating shortcuts on desktop is when you want to prevent, sometimes your case will be around you at home, and mistakenly or accidentally, one will press on a key. Maybe that will be the delete key. And that directory, particular directory, has already been highlighted. So the moment you press on delete key, it will delete. I've done, it has happened to me before. So when you press or your case accidentally press on a delete key, it's going to delete your folder. And you would not be able to identify when the folder is deleted. Sometimes it will go to the recycle bin. But what if you are not aware that it has been moved to recycle bin? So it's going to be a big blow here. So creating shortcut in your partition. Like here I have partition. When you go to my PC, so let me go to this PC. I have two partitions, the local disk C, and then I have the disk D. So I just open here and then create the directory here. So create a directory here, and then go to desktop, create icons, shortcuts, sorry. So that when you come to your desktop, you see this is the directory. So this is just the icon directing you to the main directory you have in partition D. So if accidentally your key or someone delete this one, you see it's already highlighted. So the moment I press on D, you see it's not on the desktop. So how would you know the directory has been moved to recycle bin? And this is where you have problem. So it has been deleted. You'll be just searching through all the folders, you won't find it. But if you have it in the partition that I just did, and I created the shortcut on the desktop, when you delete the icon, you still have it. If I go to like this, see, I still have the folder here with whatever I have, the content I have. It's not deleted, but just that the shortcut has been deleted. So that is the importance of creating shortcuts. That that gives you access to the main directory. So it is important for us to consider those little warnings or precautions. Increasing the font size of the icons. As I said, in relating to ergonomics, where we have to protect our eyes, protect the sensitive part of our body, the eyes. So you increase your font size of the icon, make it easy for you to identify them. Don't make it small in a way that you find it difficult to identify your icons. So you change that using the resolution, or using, when you change the resolution, automatically it increases the size of your icon. You can also look at, you see, yesterday I did this. View, you have the icons size here. Small icons, you have the medium icons, large icons. So you choose the one that you feel comfortable. You can clearly see the text underneath the icon, so that you don't create problem for your eyes. And then in relating to the brightness and the saturation of your desktop, like here, if you go to this, you can see this one here. I can easily increase the brightness. See, so sometimes you can right click here and then go to settings. So you can see the brightness here. Okay, and then you can also So let me see here. We have the night light. So you can see shuttle night light. Okay, all these are, there are places that will allow you to actually combine the colors. But this one is a different operating system that they have a different way of operating. Some, they will give you the chance to be changing the colors. See. And then we also look at taskbar, which is what we have here. Whatever application you open, like the Zoom, I have it here. Word document, I have it here. Folder, I have it here. Browser, I have it here. WhatsApp, I have it here. So the taskbar help you to easily identify the current applications you are working with or the current application you are working on. So these are applications that you can easily access them and then you work with it. Creating links on the taskbar for easy access. So we can create links on the taskbar, like the previous operating system. You can easily click the, you go to link and then you search for that. But this one to has its own 11 has its own way. Windows 11 has its own way. That you go to taskbar settings, and then you can easily control the task bar. So you can see I have some of the icons here that if I don't want to see them, I just click, you see, so it's gone. So that helps you to quickly identify icons. When you open any application, you have them here. Okay. And then there's one particular one that like the auto hide. Sometimes if I have the taskbar here, it disrupts whatever I do. So let's say if I want to, let's say go to auto hide, where is my, okay, I have it here, you see. So when you go to taskbar, if you are using Windows 11, taskbar behavior, you have it here. Automatically hide the taskbar when you click on it. So the taskbar vanishes when you remove the cursor. The moment you put the cursor here, it shows. When you remove it, it disappears. So that the taskbar, when you auto hide, it doesn't disrupt you when you are working with certain applications. Yeah, and then I also explained all these functions. How do you get the network, the sound? They are here. So sound is here. You can easily access. And then the network, you can easily access your network. So you go to this is my network, and you can see your network here. So you can easily access them. Title bar, every application has title bar, like what I have here. I have the title bar here, so I can see my title bar. Menu bar, I explained the menu bar are the one that we have it on top here. See, so that's what I explained yesterday. Showing, taskbar showing tools for performing tasks. Menu item, I already explained all this yesterday. Pop-up menu, yeah. And then the last one was the Windows desktop. Resolution. Why do we need to consider resolution? It's when we want to ensure we have well arrangement of our icons, like how do you want the icon to display? And the resolution also has effect on the graphics. So the moment you change the resolution, it changes the graphical display of your desktop. And then also the graphical display of certain applications. So there are applications that you will have to change the resolution. Sometimes it automatically changes the resolution when there's an application, different application running on your system. What is pixel? Pixel is picture element. So the formation of even though the width and height is the resolution. So the width pixels times the height pixels gives you the resolution. So it means that pixel is the number of dots on the x-axis and the y-axis. In other words, the width, that is the horizontal, and then the vertical, or the height. So the total pixels is the width times the height will give you the resolution. Okay, so we can measure the pixel by dot per inch. When we say dot per inch, it means that the dot is made up of the width and the height. And that is where we can have a point. We know mathematically a point is the coordination of x and y. That is what is just telling us here, dot per inch. Okay. So every image that you background is an image that we use. So you can see this is image. The background here is the image. So what is the importance of an image? For example, I have this image here. And you can see this image has some text. So what you see here gives the formation of pixels, the width and then the height. So when you look at this one, I can display the properties of this image. So right click on it. Now you can see that set as background. Why is it set as background? Because we use image for the background. So when you click set as background, you see, so you can see that I have the image as the background. And it has just changed how the background looks like now. And I don't like how it has even displayed some of here looks like white here, from yellow here. So when I use this background for 3 hours, I'll have problem with my eyes. See? So the background is just the image. So I can determine the pixels or the resolution of this image. So let me go to display settings. I want to change it back. So I have personalization here. I want to change it back. Okay, so I can choose this one. So you see, so at least this background can actually help me to identify or see the icons clearly. So let me arrange them well, sort by item type. See, so well arranged. So that is the importance of the resolution. And the more you have the resolution or the width and height of the resolution, the better the quality of your desktop or the better the quality of the image. So yesterday, this is how to show or identify the resolution. You right click on the image, you go to properties, you go to details, and you can see it here, that the image dimensions here, 1,200 by 840. So that is the pixels with respect to width, and then the pixel with respect to height. So that is what we have here. Okay. Now, so all these are informations on the one particular is here in printing. Dot per inch is the usual measure of printed image quality on the paper. The average personal computer printer today provides 300 dot per inch or 600 dot per inch. So this one gives the higher quality of the printout. So either 300 dot per inch or 600 dot per inch. So that is also the importance of the resolution on the printout or the printer. Now let's come to refresh rate. This is, we are starting with refresh rate. What is refresh rate? Every device that is used for graphical manipulation of images, graphical manipulation of videos, has what we call the refresh rate. And refresh rate is the cycles per second, or the number of screen refreshing itself per second. So if you set the refresh rate to 60 Hertz, and we use Hertz for processing, that is why processor or CPU, central processing unit, is measured in Hertz. Hertz means Hertz, that the spelling is Hertz. Hertz. So Hertz means number of cycles per second. So this one means 600 times per second. Now, how do you identify your refresh rate of your monitor? Let's look at that. So you right click on the desktop, and then you go to display settings. Now, you can see that we have display resolution. And this is the one I have, 1280 by 768. Now, let's look for refresh rate. So refresh rate is, you can see it here, advanced displays, display information, refresh rate. So just click on this one. Now you can see the refresh rate here. So a higher rate gives smoother motion, but also uses more power. So you can see the effect of refresh rate, that the higher the rate, the smoother the motion of videos. But it consumes a lot of what power. So you can see 60 Hertz, meaning that if this one gives me the opportunity to change, I can change this one to maybe 80. You can check that on your mobile phone. Mobile phone also has refresh rate. Every device that displays or that is used to show movies, it used to run movies, has refresh rate. So you can change from 60 to 80. I think the best ones you can find 60 or 80 Hertz. So sometimes when you want to capture a video, when the moment you move let's say the mobile phone, you move it quickly. The moment you move it quickly, then you see that the video or the camera shakes. So it means that you have to check your resolution. It shouldn't shake. But when you are taking video, sometimes you have to run. When you are running and the video is shaking, the camera is shaking, you look at it, it's shaking. Then it means that the refresh rate is not on the best one. So you have to choose the best one, either 80 Hz, so that the screen can refresh itself. The number of times it refreshes itself gives you better or smoother motion. So that is the importance of the refresh rate. And we actually look at, I teach computer graphics. So we have the programming aspect of the computer graphics where we have to write a code to plot a pixel. And that's the formation of X and Y when it is 2D, two-dimensional picture, or 3D. 3D is when you have X, Y, and Z. So you have two for two-dimensional, and you have 3 coordinates for 3-dimensional. That is the meaning of 2D and 3D. When you say 3D, it means you have X axis, you have Y axis, and then you have Z axis. That formed 3D. So you can actually look at the color formation. The color formation. We use color to plot pixels. So you can see color format here. That is part of the graphics. So you can see color format here: red, green, blue. So the formation of the common colors, red, green, blue, you can imagine the number of colors you can get. It starts from 0 and it ends at 255. So red starts from 0 to 255. Green starts from 0 to 255. Blue starts from 0 to 255. So imagine the combination of colors you can get from 255, 255, 255. So when you have 000, it's one color. When you have 001, it's one color. 002 is one color, up to 00255. Then you start 0011 up to, you imagine the color, the number of colors you can get from the common colors. Then we have the hexadecimal colors too. So that forms the graphical display of a monitor, or graphical display of every image you have on your desktop. What are the benefits of changing the display refresh rate? So when you change your refresh rate, what are the benefits? So one, gaming. As I said, if you choose your own resolution, meaning that you have your resolution, like what I have here is the one automatically assigned to me, which is 1280 by 768 resolution that I have on my system now. But some of the games have high resolution, which my resolution cannot accommodate the graphics. So it has to change automatically. For these Windows 11, they have what we call automatic adjustment for every game. Even the game itself will automatically change the resolution for you, meaning that some games has higher graphics. Then I explained the importance of VGA, Video Graphics Adapter, where it has memory that accommodates graphics. So the more you have the memory, the higher you have the quality of your pictures. So gaming considers what? Refresh rate. Higher refresh rate can improve. That is what it's saying. Higher refresh rate can improve your gaming experience by reducing motion blur and screen tearing. So this is important. In computer graphics, when we say blur, it means you have the image, all right, but there is a kind of distortion of the pixels. When we say distortion of the pixels, That is when we have noise in your image. That is when we have, there's a possibility of having blur of your image. And then screen tearing is when you display the image, then it will be shaking. Before it display the full image, it starts from the top, shaking to down. And then when it refreshes itself again, it will be doing the same thing. So we have what they call zigzag. So you have zigzag at the end of the, what we call, in computer graphics, called retracing. Retracing means that when there's a scanning of the lines, start from the top, it scans to the down. And that is when the refresh rate takes place. It scans from the top to the bottom, scan from top to bottom, and that is when the refresh rate also happens. So one refresh rate will depend on the number of hairs. And then one important is also a benefit of refresh rate, changing refresh rate is the browsing and inking. A higher refresh rate can make scrolling and using a digital pen more fluid and natural. You know, some of the applications allows you to actually use your cursor to pick a pen and then you draw. Example, let me show you an example here. When you go to paint, let's search for paint. So when you search for paint, so you look at this. So you can see there's a pen here. This is pencil. We have color picker. Okay. So you see, I can draw. So you see how I write? So you see, it's not, so you see, and that is the importance of the refresh rate. So the moment I start writing, if I have good refresh rate, it's going to help me.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just.
Oh, okay. I thought you were off. That's all.
Okay. So I was looking at the importance of the refresh rate here. That the moment you start writing, you see, so it's not kind of like giving me smooth in writing here or motion here. So it's best that you increase your refresh rate so that you can have smoother screen. So the moment you write, the screen is also refreshing itself. You see, so okay. So that is the importance of the refresh rate. You check and then you increase the refresh rate to help you. And the effect is that it's going to affect your battery life. So you say lowering your refresh rate can save battery power by reducing the amount of energy your display consumes. So when you increase it, it has a benefit, advantages. And then in the long run too, you're going to affect the battery. But you look at when do you increase the refresh rate and when do you reduce it? When you know that you don't have power connected to your laptop that you are using, there are things that you have to ensure, like refresh rate. you reduce it so that your battery will be saved. Okay. So to change the refresh rate, I think I demonstrated how to do that. And mine is only 60. I cannot change it to any refresh rate. The one assigned to me, which is fixed, is 60. So probably I've not activated my window. So probably if I activate my window, I'm going to have maybe possible numbers like 70, 80. In the highest I've seen is 80 Hz. Okay. Now we also have dynamic refresh rate. This is what I said that the current Windows Windows 11 has the dynamic, that's what it's saying here, dynamic refresh rate. So what happens is that when you install application that need a higher refresh rate, it automatically changes the refresh rate so that it can use that refresh rate for its purpose. Especially the gaming. When you install games, automatically it changes some parameters, the refresh rate, the resolution, because resolution also has effect on the icons and then the text that you interact with. So most of the game, the moment it changes the resolution, then you see that the icon reduces to smaller size, some increases to bigger size, so that you can access them flexibly. Okay. So that is the importance of the dynamic refresh rate. They implemented that because they don't want the end user to be struggling to use the graphical component. So the system will intelligently look at the application and change it. Then the video graphics adapter, which I always say that when you are dealing with videos, dealing with music, dealing with pictures, it is important to consider your VGA. So let's look at our VGA. I want us to go to, we have, when you go to this, let's type DXD. Okay, I have DXD. Okay, so I actually use window key, the window key on your keyboard. You hold it plus R to get this dialog box. Then you type DXD IAG. That it means direct diagnostic. Direct diagnostics. So you click OK. So if you want to access your computer's properties, then you use this DXDIAG just to give you this dialog box. And when you look at this dialog box, you can see that we have DirectX diagnostic tool. You can see this here, system. You can go to display, you can go to sound, and then input. So let's go to system.